We're having better schedules for Kingston west towards Toronto, Kingston's northeast towards Ottawa, Kingston east towards Montreal. Therefore, enhancing the opportunity for all these people who currently jump in their car because of a lack of flexibility on our schedule, instead of taking the train along the current line. Same thing with the Montreal-Quebec line through Drummondville. Same idea. Everything will be in and out, Drummondville east to Quebec, Drummondville west to Montreal. And then the Montreal-Ottawa-Toronto axis will be served through Ottawa, through Peterborough, into Toronto. And that is the radical change that will deliver 3 times the ridership that we have today. So now you're either stunned or so excited you can't contain yourself, but I would like to think this is good news.
This is very good.
Now, I did say that I sourced this idea here, which means, Tony, that if it works, it was my idea. If it doesn't, it was not.
Just want a job with a bar target.
Now, on a more serious matter, I mentioned en passant earlier our focus on moving people out of their cars onto trains and the environmental mission of VIA that has never been greater than it is today. Back in November, while governments of the world, including our government, signed the COP21 declaration in Paris, I was at the International Union of Railway meeting where we did our own pledge with regards to curbing carbon emissions. And the railways around the world, passenger railways, have committed to reduce their carbon emissions produced by their operation, by 50% by 2030, and to double their ridership by 2050. You can see how we will deliver that pledge by implementing this solution. Because we won't double our ridership, we'll triple it, and we won't reduce our carbon emission by 50%, we'll eliminate our carbon emissions by 98% by going electrical. Now this is my guilt chart. I was raised, my mother was very efficient using guilt, and it worked on me, so I figured I use it on my audiences. This is my guilt chart. This shows the amount of grams of carbon emissions that you produce by every kilometer seat that you travel on a different mode of transport. On an electrical train, as we're proposing to implement here, you would be producing 3.7 grams per kilometer of train travel. On a diesel train, like the trains we use today, we're looking at 8 times that amount, 27 grams of CO2 being produced by your trip per kilometer. In your car, we're looking at almost 20 times that amount, 62 grams per kilometer in your car. And then by plane, obviously, God help us all. So the point is, as I said earlier, other than the oil and gas production industry, transportation is the biggest contributor to carbon emissions in Canada, 26%. Within that 26%, the biggest contributor is the privately driven vehicle. That means that it is all within our power, each of us, every day as we make decisions, to drive or not drive, to contain global warming. The sad part is, although pledges were made and commitments were made at COP21, and now COP22 is underway in Marrakesh, the reality is that if all those commitments were executed, experts say that the climate would still increase by around 2.3 degrees, where the objective is to increase it no more than 1.5 degrees. So that means that more work has to be done by all of us to contain the global climate change that we're all living today. I left Montreal today at -1. To get here, it's like +14. Okay? I don't need to be a scientist to know that something's up. Therefore, we have to look at ourselves. We at VIA will do our part in convincing our government to provide us the ability to deliver a service that is less carbon carnivorous, carbon consuming, and to have frequencies that give you as much flexibility as possible for a public transit system. But then each of us will have to do our own part in opting to get on that public transport. Not necessarily via, it could be a bike, it could be a bus service, it could be a car sharing service, but we have to take it upon ourselves to make that decision every day, because we are, because of our lifestyle, the biggest culprit that has produced the world we're in today. So, with that appeal, I take you to the federal budget of 2016. We were extremely pleased at VIA that a young government, hardly 5 months into a new mandate, had picked up the ball so quickly on the needs to modernize VIA. And they provided us monies to do the pre-procurement work, to prepare ourselves to put out an RFP for a new fleet, and that work has been completed, and we put our proposal to the Department of Transport in October. And they also provided monies to the Department of Transport to analyze our business plan for this dedicated track corridor, and that proposal is going into the government at the end of this month. And therefore, we're highly optimistic that all the right minds are being put to the right issues, and therefore the best decision will be made in the interest of all Canadians. But we don't leave it to that. We know that we need to find people and convince them every day to get on a train, and so we try to find them wherever they are. Yes, I'm ending my speech on a urinal. These are urinals at the en route stations on the 401, because that's where people are, and what this ad tries to say is you don't have to stop when you need to go. And so you can ride the train and get there and get your stuff done, whatever that may be, in time. I think we have a clip of a campaign that tries to challenge people to question their habits, and we've put these clips online because that's all we can